Hello, everybody. My name is Michael. Today's video is going to be over Immogen, who is a very important viewpoint character in Entropy. Like Mordecai, she is a main character, but we don't focus on her as much as we do Mordecai. But we will get views. We will get events that as they happen from her point of view. We get her views on them, her ideas, her feelings even towards them. But like I said, she's not as important of a character as Mordecai. Like he spans the entire story. She's in the first couple of books, and she's very important to him. Like they have a father-daughter type relationship. I know some people who have read it thought maybe that they should be like in a romantic relationship, but like I said, that's kind of weird because he is over 20,000 years old and she's barely 20 years old, or she's barely over 25 years old. And so, yeah, that'd be kind of weird, wouldn't it? I'm 44 and I couldn't imagine dating anybody under 35, to be honest with you. So, anyway, what does she look like? Like Mordecai, I leave that open for your interpretation. I do describe things like she is about 5'6". She has long hair. She's a slender body build, athletic. And that's pretty much it. The rest of it's up to your imagination. And same with her race and her ethnicity. That's up to you guys. Like I said, I don't want to color my characters in my idea of what they should look like. I want you guys to feel comfortable and to create what they look like on your own. So it's more yours. It's as much as it becomes your story too, as you're listening to it or as you're reading it, or however you engage with the story. So well, how old is she? She's 25 somewhere in there. I think when we first meet her she's like 23. And then the next time we meet her in the story, it's a couple years later, and she's aged, so obviously, because she is mortal. She's not like Mordecai. And so that's pretty much it on her age. I mean, she's not lying about it. There's no mystery to it. She does remember, her youth and all that. The name, I know some people find it interesting, like Mordecai and Immogen and some of the other names that I've chosen. I guess you're kind of wondering where I got that from. Honestly, I was when I was creating the character, I wanted a unique name that I haven't heard used very often. That was an interesting sounding name, and I had heard the name in a movie, and I always liked it, so I chose it for her. Now, where is she from? She is from the planet that they're on. She's not from Earth. She's not from any Earth colony that Mordecai is familiar with. That's one of the reasons why he comes to this planet. He detects life on it, and when he goes there and he examines it, he sees that they are human, but he doesn't see any like advanced technology on the surface or buried underground or anything like that. Nothing to indicate that they were a failed advanced colony of his people that that settled there, and then a natural disaster or something happened and it regressed them to like a Stone Age people. He gets there and as far as he can tell, it looks like they might have actually evolved on this planet as humans, and he's kind of intrigued by that. That's not exactly what happened, because the astronomical odds of that actually happening would be bigger than the surface area of the universe to write that number down, from my understanding. But it could happen. It is a possibility that could happen. I mean, if the universe is infinite, then you have infinite chances that there is a world out there identical to Earth, so with an identical species and even another you on it, and living a parallel life inside our own universe without being in a parallel universe. Now, like I said, the actual chances of that happening is just, the number is mind-bogglingly huge and can't be written on the surface area of the universe. So that tells you how big the number is. But you never know. You hear that a lot in sci-fi. You don't know what's possible. Well, there's possible and then there's probable, and I would say probable, but that isn't what is the case. Like I said, I want to give it away because it does have a part in the story, and I want you guys to discover what exactly is going on this planet. So I'll leave that open. So she is from there. She grew up there. The planet itself is a lot like Earth is now. They have countries. It's a population of a few billion. Technologically wise, they're when we pick up the story, they're somewhere in the 1940s, I would say. And so that's actually how they meet because in this society, 70, 80, 100 years ago when the Industrial Revolution happened, I guess you could also say an enlightenment period happened within them too, and scientific progress and technological progress started rapidly evolving like it does, like it did in our timeline here on Earth, and that scared a lot of people because they were seeing all these new inventions and crazy things, and it scared them because for whatever reason, they felt that it was moving too fast, that their people weren't adjusting to it fast enough, and they just wanted to turn to a simpler, more traditional time, I guess you can say. So this group of people became very powerful, and they consumed the government, and so they passed a lot of laws, and they control, the scientific and technological progress of their society. And young people like Immogen see these people as a threat almost to either their survival, to their progress, whatever it is. She becomes an activist, more or less. And now, to the government, she's a terrorist, but to most people, she would be an activist. Now, they do violent things. Like that's how, like I said, that's how her and Mordecai meet. She's at a rally, and things get messy, and they end up attacking the police, and the police attack back, and she's injured, and the people she's with are either arrested, injured, and she gets away, and she sees this diner, and she darts into this diner a few blocks away, a few miles away, however you want to. I don't know exactly how far. I don't think I ever put that in the story, but she gets away, and she goes into this diner, and the only person in the diner that she sees that's by themselves is Mordecai. And for whatever reason, maybe she sees something in him, maybe she sees something about him, or it could just be as simple as, it's an available table, and she maybe just banking on the fact that this guy will help her because maybe he looks nice, kind, whatever. And she sits down, and it does. Mordecai doesn't react to it. I mean, he does react to it, but he's not like shocked by it. But he does see she's wearing a pin that he lets her know to cover up because the pin indicates that she's part of this, this activist group that, just like I said, they just come from a riot basically where they attack the police and the police attack back, and she is injured. She has like a fractured ankle, I think I put in the story. And that's where they begin to talk, and that's where the story starts, is with them two meeting. Is she married? No, not at this point in the story. And to be honest with you, she never is in the story that we cover. She never does get married, and she never has any kids. Now, her basic beliefs, I've touched upon them. She is an activist. She believes in that science and scientific progress and technological progress are the future for her people, that there should be no limits on it, that it doesn't move too fast, that it's only people who don't like change are what's stopping them. And she believes very passionately in it, and that shapes her character throughout the book. She, like I said, we go along with her throughout her life in the book, and Mordecai's always in the shadows, kind of manipulating her and others around her to push their society into to discovery and new technologies, because like I said, he's trapped on this planet. His ship is broke down, and he either wants to build a new ship and continue the search for his own people, or he wants to repair his ship and do the same thing, get off of it, go and look and continue to look for his own people, because he's been here for several thousand years itself. He came in their period about what I would consider their caveman era, but they did advance faster than humanity. Humanity, it hasn't been cavemen for 30,000 years, and then about 12,000 years ago is when we started developing civilization and building cities and moving forward, and then we went from building the pyramids to walking on the moon in less than 5,000 years. And their society, he's only, like I said, he's only been on this planet for 4 or 5,000 years, and they went from cavemen to 1940 era in that same time period. And that could be because of his influence, because, like I said, he does peddle his influence. Like, he pushes certain ideas, certain people to certain discoveries, I guess you can say. He never like interferes directly. Like, he doesn't hand them the technology. He doesn't hand them the science. He doesn't teach them anything, but he does point them in the right directions, I guess you can say. And he's been doing that since he got there because, like I said, he wants to get off the planet. And Immogen is one of those people that he does start manipulating that way, pushing her towards, maybe certain career choices, certain ideas, certain ways to do things. But that's pretty much all the introduction I want to give you on Immogen without ruining, without spoiling her character or ruining any surprises that might come up with her character. So again, if you have any questions or comments or concerns about Immogen, just let me know. Like I said, I'm very open. I'm willing to answer pretty much any question, and I'm willing to discuss it. So let me know. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one, or hope to see you in the next one. You guys have a good day now.